Okay, want to congratulate Maryland on a hard-fought game. Coming into this thing, we talked this morning a lot about who we were going to face as far as a good quality opponent. They're a good team. They're getting better and better. And we knew they were going to come in and give a whole bunch of effort, and we needed to match that, and we did. In all my years of coaching, I've never seen a stat line as even as this. I mean, if you look at it, it's pretty much even across the board. The one exception is turnovers, and we got a couple of turnovers. Obviously, the one that Doug picked up, scooped, and scored turned out to be a big play. But defensively getting a couple of turnovers, and then offensively for this third game in a row, not having a turnover is something pretty special. I guess we had one turnover in the fourth quarter against Marshall, but taking care of the football is what won this game. And we're going to have a lot of stuff that we need to improve on all three sides of the ball, and we'll get back to work tomorrow and try to correct that stuff.
Dana, what was with Austin?
Sean, I had fibros. He was limited, obviously, but just he didn't practice all week, so we didn't feel like it was the right thing to play him. Probably could have put him in there a little bit. Didn't feel great about the run game early. Not that he wasn't in there, but when we handed the ball off, just didn't feel very good about it. I didn't think we were controlling a lot of scrimmage. They were blitzing a lot, giving us a lot of different looks, which we knew they would, but that's hard to defend against.
You've been able to take advantage of the blitz some earlier this year. Today, it seemed like Maryland covered better on the back end. What was the differences?
They're a good team. I mean, they came in defensively. They're pretty good. I think they've shown a bunch of improvement. They got 7 or 8 seniors that have played a whole lot of football. I mean, I give them credit. I mean, shoot. I mean, we played a ACC BCS team that is getting better and better, and they got a lot of guys on defense that were pretty good, and we didn't do a very good job of. I don't think we played our best game offensively, but we did enough. I mean, not having any turnovers and scoring 24 points, that was enough to win.
How was the tackling?
Spotty. The one negative about what we did defensively, and I think defensively we played pretty good, but the one thing is we didn't tackle once they completed balls in space. I mean, they threw some curl routes and they shook and got downfield. We controlled the line of scrimmage on defense. They didn't get many rushing yards, but they got way too many yards after the catch, and we'll continue to keep working on it.
Dana, after being almost perfect first 2 games, Gino looked like he was misfiring, maybe slow to make decisions. How do you assess where he was today?
He was a bit off. You say he's a bit off. He was 30 of 43 for 338 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's still not bad by any stretch of the imagination. He got hit. He got hit early. They were pressuring him. They got to. Excuse me, I'm still talking here, Mickey. They got to him. And that rattled him a little bit, but he's not going to give up, obviously. So he stood in there and still got the ball completed for a good bit.
Is there anything that Tavon can't do?
This was Tavon's best game. He played fast. 13 catches and 3 touchdowns is pretty special. This is by far his best game. His energy on the sidelines was tremendous. He was the one guy that we had offensively that played their best game. I can't say that about the rest of them.
Did Sean's injury directly contribute to the decision to play Dustin?
No. He was ready to play anyway. He'll keep getting better. That's a hard thing to overcome mentally. I don't know if any of you guys have ever tore ACLs. Probably not. But that's a hard thing to come back from mentally. It really is. So, but just by him being out there, it's going to help him continue to get stronger and continue to improve.
Is it fair to say that the defense, outside of missed tackles in the second half, the defense made better adjustments in the second half than the offense did?
Yeah, I guess. And I'm as critical as anybody when it comes to what we do offensively, obviously. We didn't play very good, but we played a better opponent. That was the best defense that we faced this year by a long shot, and just didn't do a very good job. Yes, and defensively we did do a good job. And again, from a stat line, it's even across the board. For the one thing is we created some turnovers. They were begging to give us the ball, and we had it on the ground 5 times, and we only got it twice. which that's disappointing, but we did do a good job at knocking it free.
How big a lift was that first turnover touchdown? How did that kind of electrify the sideline?
Sure it did, yeah. Yeah, I mean, anytime something like that happens, that's positive. And that's the one thing that Coach DeForest's been preaching since the day he got here. And that's one one of the reasons why he's our defensive coordinator is because that's how he preaches it. He does a good job of the mentality-wise of not giving up. When we give up a big play, you can't get your dauber down because you're going to face a bunch of good offenses that are going to move the ball. You just got to keep playing, and then you got to get that turnover, and you got to get a spark, which getting better at it.
Dan, in your mind, did you play well enough? In your mind, did you play well enough today to beat the good teams in the Big 12?
Well, Maryland's a good team. I mean, that's it's the same caliber of ball. We got to get better. I don't think we put our best foot forward on all three sides of the ball, but we still found a way to win. That's a sign of a good team.
Just to clarify, was that Tavon's best game for you this year, or the best game that he's played for you ever?
To me, it looked. I mean, we'll watch the tape, but to me, it looked like it was. His demeanor on the sidelines was fantastic. When things weren't going very good, he was the guy that was bouncing around trying to pick everybody up. That's what leaders do. That's what team captains do. And he stepped up and played well in adversity.
Dan, when you say you did enough to win, did you focus on a couple of things that you found working, or is that just a collection of things that this is the net result? A number of things went well enough to win.
No, we didn't give up. I mean, it was frustrating. Everything we were doing out there seemed hard. You know, and again, that's what happens when you get into good games. Maybe we've just been spoiled for the last 3 games, having the success that we've had. One thing that you got to do, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, is when you face adversity, have guys that can fight through that. And we did. I mean, otherwise we'd be sitting here with a loss if we didn't. So we did enough to win. We found a way to win. I give our guys a whole bunch of credit for that.
Dan, do you like where your team is right now going into the Big 12 opener with Baylor?
Yeah, I do. You know, I've got a bunch of guys that like to play football and understand what's at stake. I mean, they like to play. They enjoy each other. I think we're a real close team. We're getting tighter by the week. We will get back to work tomorrow. They understand what we got to do to get better, and we'll get back to work tomorrow and prepare to go play Baylor. It's the first time I've mentioned Big 12 to them was a few minutes ago. So the first half of the season's over. You know, the non-conference schedule's over, and the rest of it's going to be conference play, which our play needs to pick up. We got a good Baylor team coming here next week. We'll prepare for them just like we did Maryland, just like we did the previous two. That's the way we do it. All right, thanks, guys.